This is One on One. We are pleased to be joined by the beautiful and talented and also the great writer, Stephanie Evanovich, the author of The Total Package. There's the cover of the book. Who is The Total Package?
For the sake of the book, The Total Package is a man named Tyson Palmer.
Who is?
He is a football player who just fell down.
He fell down, and was he getting another chance?
He fell down by being given too much too soon.
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm thinking Johnny Manziel?
Think Johnny Manziel.
Gets another chance.
Yes, he does. From everybody except one sports reporter that he can't figure out.
Is that
what it
Danny Carr?
It would be.
So hold on, Danny
Are you
Carr.
a mind reader?
No, hold on, wait a minute. No, hold on, wait a minute.
You're reading my mind.
I read the notes and I read enough of the book to know that Danny Carr is a sports writer.
It is.
Covering this. Is he a quarterback?
He's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Tyson Palmer's a quarterback.
Okay, so did they have a previous relationship?
As a matter of fact, they did, Steve.
At college?
In college.
And of course he remembers.
Actually, he's out of college and she's just finishing up.
Why does he not remember this relationship?
Because he just, he's got an addiction problem, which, I write comedy, just to step away for a second. I do write comedy I don't need to tell anybody there's nothing funny about addiction, and it takes a small part of the book, but I also believe it deserved to be talked about.
So the thing is, he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember.
But something happened between them. Something significant. He doesn't remember. She's not responding to his advances, and it's frustrating. But your books, your previous book?
Actually, I have two. There's The Sweet Spot, which was my second book, and Big Girl Panties was my debut novel.
Big Girl Panties.
Yeah, I can't believe you said it.
Yeah, I wanted to say it. I was looking forward to it. Never said it before. Question. You have a pretty famous last name.
I do.
Because?
I'm related to somebody incredibly famous.
You are.
I am. Janet Evanovich is my aunt.
And it's so interesting.
Through marriage. I have to clarify, I didn't in no way swim in her gene pool. My father and her husband are brothers.
You spent a lot of years before you became a writer acting.
A very frustrated actor, yes.
Why the transition?
Because after 30 years and finding out that the movie, do you remember the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
With Mickey Rourke, yeah.
Well, long story short, I probably could have hit Mickey Rourke with a rock from my front porch and while he was filming, because he filmed at Convention Hall in Asbury Park, which I live on the street that ends at Convention Hall, or I did at that time. I didn't find out that that movie was even filmed until it came out in the theaters. And that's when I sort of realized that I just was never going to have the connections to make it in acting. But if I could write a book, I could at least try to entertain. That was all I really wanted to do, was entertain.
That was your thing?
I do. I really enjoy entertaining. I do.
Where does it come from?
I grew up in a family of teachers, so acting was like a hobby, but it was never to be taken seriously. You were to go to college and that's okay.
But this book, your third, what's fascinating about it is I read about your background. You did not experience, as many of us who have written and been published, you did not experience many of the rejections that the rest of us
None of them.
I mean, I have 35, I believe, my first book until Simon & Schuster said yes. At least, maybe 40 or more.
Yeah.
At least.
With the name, there's no lie. It's
But that didn't get you the publishing deal.
I still have to sit down and write the books.
Yes.
Do you know? So I do get a little disheartened. Every now and then someone will say, I'm riding the coattails. And
ignore the haters.
Haters gotta hate. But more than that, my publisher was incredibly supportive, and they really showed genuine faith in me. And that gave me the confidence I need. I'm on my fourth book now. I got another 3-book deal after this one. Thank you. It was a life changer. But you still got to bick it, which is what I call button chair. Like, you still have to write the books.
So your theme, the books that you have written, the themes consistently, there are a lot of themes, but one of them, particularly in this one, redemption, second chances. Why?
Because I think that's when people feel at their absolute lowest, right before they get redeemed. And sometimes it's the difference between getting redeemed and not, is how you handle yourself at the lowest point. And if I have the ability to give somebody a little bit of hope and a laugh, then that feels like a much bigger purpose than just putting words on a paper and getting a check, you know.
And Stephanie, for your readers, do you think that is the biggest thing that they respond to?
When Big Girl Panties first came out, and not to give you too much like background, but Big Girl Panties is basically the story of a personal trainer, 2 athletes, and an overweight woman that he's forced to sit next to in first class that he decides he's going to make over. The fact is, he's the one who needs the makeover. She was just having a little hard time in her life.
He was pretty superficial.
He was very shallow, and she just ran rings around. You know, she wrecked him. And I got a lot of email from people who were like, today was the first day I felt good about myself, or I went to the gym today with a whole different attitude because I used to view the gym as like the enemy, and now I kind of have a better spring in my step. And I did want to put that message out. I used to work at a gym. I used to open a gym in my neighborhood, 5 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, you get your typical, stereotypical gym people who jump around and act crazy and, you know, pose and flex all day. But by and large, the gym is full of average people who care about their health, who don't look like supermodels or pro athletes of, you know, any particular genre. And they're all just there to worship their body temple. And that's how they started their day. And it was literally the best job I ever had. Except for the current one. The current job is really
Mind
good.
if I plug?
I would love it.
The Total Package. Stephanie Evanovich is the author, New York Times best-selling author of Big Girl Panties, but this is the Total Package, a novel. Check it out, folks. You're a great guest.
Oh, Steve, thanks so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by NJIT, RWJ Barnabas Health, the New Jersey Education Association, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, PSE&G, the Fidelco Group, and by Verizon. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been produced in cooperation with FiOS One News.